thanks for joining me today. We're going to be making some cards with our Dragonfly Dreams Crafty Courtyard kit. As of filming this video, I do believe we have just a couple of those kits left for individual sale on the website. They are in the past kits category. This one was very popular. It has some beautiful dragonflies, and one of the dragonflies has flowers for one side of its wings. So it's a really pretty kit. The first card we're going to make is just a mini slimline card. So my card is about 6 1/4 by 3 1/4 when folded, just a white card base I made. And then I've cut some of this really pretty turquoise cardstock that's in the kit. I've cut it just a 1/4 inch smaller than the card base, so it'll fit with a nice white edge around it. And then I've cut some of the pink cardstock that's in the kit to fit just inside that. And I ran it through my die cut machine with the Daisies embossing folder. And that embossing folder is in the kit. You have an embossed and a debossed side, so you can use either, which is really fun. But this one, I just took and ran a darker ink pad over the raised parts. So the ink just kind of sat on top of the raised images. And I've got this fun little background, and it's got some dimension because it's embossed. So we're gonna glue these down to the card front. I'm using our Easy Squeeze craft glue. And if you haven't seen my little tip before, I have one of our stainless steel no clog glue pens. I have it glued into the cap of my glue. And I just put some glue down in there, and I stick the head of the pen down in there, and after a while the glue will dry and it will be stuck there. That way I always know where my pen is, but I always keep it in the glue nozzle so that it keeps it from clogging. And here's our card base so far. I've taken about 3/4 inch strip of white cardstock. I stamped the sentiment from the stamp set "For you on your special day." I'm just going to put that across the bottom portion of the card. I've stamped and colored a couple of the dragonflies from the kit, and we're just going to glue these down on the card. Just in different little places here, something like that. And I've just colored them with alcohol markers. I use Copic, but you can use any markers or colored pencils or whatever you like to color with. And I just did various colors of teal and green and just kind of blended them together. It reminded me of how dragonfly wings have that iridescent look, so you see different colors. And here's our first card that went together really simple, quick and easy, but it's a really cute card. It's got some dimension to it. I love it. For our next card, I've got an A2 side folding card. I'm using some pattern paper from the paper pack included in the kit. With our stitched rectangle dies, I've cut out one of these really pretty floral pieces of paper. And with our scallop rectangle die, I cut out some of the pretty green cardstock to go just behind it. And I'm going to glue those down to the card front. With our stitch circle dies, I've cut out of the 2 teal and the yellow cardstock, I've cut out a couple of circles, one larger one, which I've cut a little bit off so it looks like it's going off the edge of the card. And I'm just going to kind of configure these where I think they'll look nice here. And I'm going to glue them down to the card front. Now I've stamped and colored the large dragonfly from the stamp set in the kit, and I've added some foam adhesive to the back so it'll pop off the card a little bit. I've colored it in colors to coordinate with the pattern paper. And on this side, again, like I did with the other smaller ones in the first card, I've just done some greens and teals and blended them together. And we're just going to put this on the card like so, wherever we think looks good. The circles kind of give a spot for the dragonfly to sit on the card, just like so. And I've stamped the sentiment, "Thoughts of you fill my days with joy." Love that. Isn't that nice? Out of white cardstock, and just cut a little flag end there. I'm just going to put it across the bottom there. That's our card so far. It's looking really nice. I love that dragonfly. It's a great focal point for the card. It's really pretty. We're going to add some of our enamel dots. And here's our finished card. I love that. This kit makes some really pretty cards. Next, we're going to make a slimline card. So I have a white card base. They really come in handy because they're pre-cut and pre-scored for you, and they're ready to go. When folded, they are 8.5 by 3.5 inches. To the card front, I'm going to glue down. I've cut a piece of yellow cardstock from the kit to fit just behind. And I've used our plaid slimline die. And we're going to put that over the yellow cardstock. And I've cut this out of that light teal paper that's in the kit. It makes a beautiful background. To glue down this intricate die cut, you can always put one of our adhesive sheets on the back of the cardstock before you cut the paper. When you peel the backing away, it's sticky and ready to stick down. Or you can just use our glue. It has a nice precision tip that you can get a small amount of glue out of it at a time. And I just kind of put it around the edges and a few little places within the design. And here's our card base with that plaid slimline die. I've cut a strip of green and pink to go in the center of the card. And at the bottom of the pink, I've stamped, "I miss your smile." I'm just going to put that right in the center of the card. Now that we have those glued in the center, I'm going to add our dragonflies. I have the large one with the floral wings, and I have two of the smaller ones, and I've just colored them. We're going to add them to the card. Again, I've added foam adhesive to the large dragonfly just to pop it off the card and give some added dimension. If my foam tape looks a little odd, it's because it was a sheet of the little foam dots, the circles, but I used up all the circles, so don't forget to use up all those little outer pieces as well. They might be funny shapes, but you can cut them out to fit where you need them. I was just thinking on these cards, some of our ice rink glitter, which is like an iridescent, clear, white, sparkly glitter, would be really pretty on the wings of these dragonflies. To finish the card, I'm just going to add some of our enamel dots. And here's our finished slimline card. For our next card, I've got an A2 size top folding card. Again, this is one of our pre-cut, pre-scored card bases. We have them in A2 size, the top folding and the side folding. But you also have white cardstock in the kit that you can cut down to any size card that you like. I have cut out of our diagonal cover die. The outer die has this really fun kind of cloudy or bubble-edged rectangle. And there's a little stitch lined on the inside. And I'm going to glue that down to our card base. There's that. That gives like a fun scalloped edge because all the little scallops are different sizes. From the pink cardstock in the kit, I cut a rectangle that will fit just inside that stitch line on this die. And I've used the stencil that's in the kit. I ink blended with our blender brush some teal ink. So I just created some teal dragonflies. But if you can see how nice and sparkly they are, I took our glossy gel and I added some of our ice rink glitter to the gel. And then I just spread the gel over where I had ink blended. So we have sparkly teal dragonflies. It's a fun technique to use with our gel. You can make your own glitter gel. And I'm just going to glue that on top of the card. I cut a piece of white cardstock in a 1-inch strip to go across, and I stamped the sentiment, "I am sorry for your loss." It's never fun to make sympathy cards. It's a little easier to make them when you don't need them and then have them on hand when you do need it. It's a little more difficult to make these types of cards when you actually need them. Then I've stamped and die cut, colored 2 of the dragonflies from the stamp set, and I'm going to glue these down to the card. And here's the finished card. I think it looks really nice. And that glossy gel with just a little bit of glitter in it, used over the stenciled ink blended dragonflies, adds just the right, like soft, subtle, sparkly touch to it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these cards we created with the Dragonfly Dreams Crafty Courtyard kit. You can head over to pinkandmane.com in the past kit categories and grab one while you still can. I'm sure they won't be there for long. Until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.